Hey everyone, happy Flag Day. This is just a special tribute to that flag that I love so much. I never did serve in the armed forces. By the way, happy birthday, Army. But that doesn't mean that I don't love her just as much as anybody else does in this country. So I thought the best way that I could honor her is to read this song that was written back before I was born by Johnny Cash in 1975. And don't worry, it's not the kind of song that I'm going to sing. But this is The Ragged Old Flag by Johnny Cash. And maybe you've heard it, but I want you to listen to these words. I walked through a county courthouse square. On a park bench, an old man was sitting there. I said, "Your old courthouse is kind of run down." He said, "Nah, it'll do for our little town." I said, "Your old flagpole is leaned a bit, and that's a ragged old flag you got hanging on it." He said, "Have a seat," and I sat down. "Is this the first time you've been to our little town?" I said, "I think it is." He said, "I don't like to brag, but we're kind of proud of that ragged old flag. You see, we got a little hole in that flag there when Washington took it across the Delaware, and it got powder burned the night Francis Scott Key sat watching it right and say, 'Can you see?' It got a rip in New Orleans with Packingham and Jackson tugging at its seams, and it almost fell at the Alamo beside the Texas flag, but she waved on, though. She got cut with a sword at Chancellorsville, and she got cut again at Shiloh Hill. There was Robert E. Lee and Beauregard and Bragg, and the south wind blew hard on that ragged old flag. On Flanders Field in World War I, she got a big hole from a Bertha gun. She turned blood red in World War II. She hung limp and low a time or two. She was in Korea and Vietnam. She went where she was sent by her Uncle Sam. She waved from our ships upon the briny foam, and now they've about quit waving back here at home. In her own good land here, she's been abused. She's been burned, dishonored, denied, and refused. And the government for which she stands has been scandalized throughout the land. And she's getting threadbare, and she's wearing thin, but she's in good shape for the shape she's in, 'cause she's been through the fire before, and I believe she can take a whole lot more. So we raise her up every morning, and we bring her down slow every night. We don't let her touch the ground, and we fold her up right. On second thought, I do like to brag, 'cause I'm mighty proud of that ragged old flag. Folks, I love that flag more than any other flag in the world. I hope you do too if you're Americans. Would you join me right now up here on my wall? Let me tilt this camera up. We're going to zoom in on her in a second. This is a flag that was gifted to me by Kingpin. You've seen him a lot on my weekly podcast. Would you all kindly join me now? Stand up. Let's say the Pledge of Allegiance to this beautiful flag. Gentlemen, if you're wearing a hat, please remove your cover. Let's place our hands over our hearts. You know the words. Say it with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Happy Flag Day, everyone.